What this empty vessel, walking automaton mouthpiece for the EPA is saying is that Sulphur Run Creek runs adjacent to where the train derailed and created a massive chemical bomb. Where it runs down and meets Leslie Run, another creek, which goes through town and goes down into Negley, Ohio, she is kind of implying to the general public that they did a great job and they contained the chemicals in that crash area, which everyone knows that has seen videos of our creeks. That is a lie. Weirton, West Virginia knows it's a lie. Cincinnati, Ohio knows it's a lie. 250 miles south on the Ohio River, closing its water intakes. But she is implying to everyone that they had done a great job and contained it. She never talks about chemicals still leaching down into the creek. She says with an arrogant sense of pride that they put the barriers across the creek, Sulphur Run, to stop it from traveling down into Leslie. And she implies here that that's done a great job and there's no more chemicals going into the creeks. And that's a lie. She then talks about the aerators that they are using to dilute the chemicals in the creek. Those are a few places throughout our creeks, and one is near our recycling center where people take their recycling. And it is spewing water up from the creek into the air, and people can't even go there because they get sick. My wife stopped and dropped off some recycling, and her eyes started burning, and she had a headache the rest of the day. It is a horrible idea to take chemicals from one area, the water, and vaporize it into the air. How does she sleep at night?
What we're looking at is the confluence of Leslie and Sulphur that are coming in, and that's what we've said all along at Ohio EPA, that we know the contamination was here immediately. So the crew from Ohio EPA was on site immediately. A lot of this containment was constructed within hours of the derailment to keep the spill from going any farther downstream. So what you're looking at now is the containment that's still there, and when we see any product, we're able to vacuum that out and store it and remove it safely. But what you're talking about then is the longer term process that we've been describing, where yes, we introduce air through sparging to speed up the biological breakdown of the contaminants, but also then the next phase is to actually stir up the sediment under the creek to get the product out of the ground that's under the creek, introduce it to the air, and again, speed up that biological break.
So we're about to look at a corrected version of the interview. What you're looking at is a real shit show. We really screwed the pooch this time. We tried to put a barrier down, but all the chemicals still leaked down into Leslie Run and all the way down into Cincinnati, Ohio. And it's probably leaching down into people's property right now. We probably could get some more bulldozers and clean up the creeks and dam it up and reroute it and pull up the creek beds. But, you know, these people aren't important enough. And by next week, the media will be gone and we'll be off the hook. And everyone will pay attention to the next big thing in the news. So that's our plan. And you can see those homes over there. They're not rich homes anyway. So we're not really concerned. And as soon as this blows over, we are out of town. I don't want to be in this toxic dump heap any longer than I have to be. I mean, God, they're spraying chemicals into the air from the creek. What do you think, I'm an idiot?